Good evening, children. Right, with the coronavirus situation in the country, we were unable to conduct classes. As you all know, we are unable to conduct the classes. So we need to do the classes, but there is no any method. So I have chosen the method of doing online classes, right? And I want to tell you first thing. Today is my first experience. This is my first experience doing the online class, right? So at the beginning I must tell you there may be some mistakes. There will be some mistakes will be done. Don't think about the mistakes, right? Take the maximum out of this thing, right? Take the maximum out of this work. There may be mistakes because this is my first experience teaching in online classroom, right? You may be having learning, but learning maths as online classroom is the first experience, right? Try my all the best to avoid the mistakes and to do the video with you, right? And I first you tell that I am not going to conduct the classes throughout 2 hours, right? And today, as the first day, I am going to do about only 1.5 hours, right? Only 1.5 hours. During that time period, I am going to discuss the first paper that I gave you, the revision paper 1, right? Revision paper 1, right? You must have a red pen with you, right? You must have a red pen with you. Don't put marks. I'm not going to put 2 marks. Just put the answers correct or incorrect, right? Only mark it. And if there is some new point is there, you must write them in the space. There's in the paper. There is some space in your paper. When there are questions are there are more space are there. With the red pens, you must write them, right? All the new points should be written with the red pens, right? And also, I have given you a book, the speedy revision book. I have given you the book, speedy revision book. When you are listening to this video, you must have that book with you, right? Now earlier in the classroom, I have given you time to write the answers for the speed revision book. So some papers I have given you time to write the answers. So during this video time, I am going to talk to you with you the speed revision paper also. And also in your syllabus, I told you I have to complete 3 more lessons. So that all the lessons also I am going to discuss through online, right? So today, as a starting for these classes, today I am going to do the classes only about 1.5 hours, right? Only 1.5 hours is there, right? So I am going to discuss the answers with you with the revision paper 1 that I give. So I will tell you, take a red pen and get ready to discuss the answers, right? Get a red pen and get ready, right? First one, I am going to discuss the revision paper number 1, and I also want to tell you that you must take the paper. You must take the paper at every Monday. You must take the paper at every Monday. You have to go to some other institute and take the paper, right? Now I am going to discuss revision paper number 1. Denote 300 centimeters in meters, right? Denote 300 centimeters in meters. Now you are only having a red pen, right? Now you have to mark the answers with the red pen. Now when I am teaching, there will be some new points will be there. So you have to mark with the red pen, right? And also you must have a separate theory book also nearby your table, right? You must have the theory book also. If there are some important point is there, you must write that point also. Right? First one, denote 300 centimeters in meters. Denote 300 centimeters in meters, right? Now we have learned that 1 meter means 100 centimeters, right? Now we have learned this 1 meter means 100 centimeters, right? First question, denote 300 centimeters in meters. Number 1, denote 300 centimeters in meters, right? Now we know that 1 meter means 100 centimeters, no? 1 meter means 100 centimeters, so 300 centimeters means how many centimeters? 3 meters. The answer is 3 meters. The answer is 3 meters, right? Now when you are continuing the lesson, there may be some difficulty. I told you earlier, there may be some difficulties, right? Don't worry about them. This is my first experience and this is my first video also, right? Try to get the knowledge from this and get the maximum out of the work that I am doing. You must remember that to do this video, I have to take a great work, right? Question number 2. Find the balance received when 5 books each 17 rupees were bought and 100 rupees was given. Find the balance received when 5 books each, which was bought for 17 rupees and when 100 rupees was given. Right. Now, number 2. Now you must mark the answers. First one, the answer is 3 meters. Right? Mark the answer with a red pen. Now if you don't know this point, 1 meter means 100 centimeters. Please write them. In this paper you have some space. Right? You can write these things. Right? Number 2. Now they have brought 5 books. 5 books was brought for 17 rupees. Right. Now first we will find the price of 5 books. Right? Price of 5 books. Price of 5 books. 17 rupees, 17 multiplied by 5. Right? The cost of one book is 17 rupees. So we need to find the price of 5 such books. So it means price is 17 into 5. Right? 5 times 7 is 35. 3 remains. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 plus 3 means 8. So the answer is, but that is not the answer. The answer is 85 rupees. The price of 5 books is 85 rupees. Right? The price of 5 books is 85 rupees. Now they are to find the remaining balance. The balance means, now he have given 100 rupees to shopkeeper. So we need to find the remaining balance. How to find the remaining balance? 100 rupees. The remaining balance. The balance means 100 rupees minus Rs 85 rupees. What is the answer? 15 rupees. The answer should be 15 rupees. Right? The answer should be 15 rupees. Right? So you must mark the answers. Right? If you have not written the sentences must be there. Right? Okay. Write them. Number 3. Remember that I need to erase the board at a quick session because I don't have a large whiteboard. This whiteboard is somewhat a smaller one, right? So I want to manage the space. So I am going to erase the board. So you have to write the note quickly. Right. Number 3. There's a diagram. There's a diagram. One color have been shaded, right? One part have been shaded. First one, number 3, right? Write the fraction of the shaded part. Write the fraction of shaded part. Right. Now you can clearly see that one square have been divided into 2 equal parts. Right? One square have been divided into 2 equal parts. Right? So you can, if you take the whole figure, we can divide this figure also into 2 parts. This one also 2 parts. This square also 2 parts. This figure also we can divide into 2 parts. So if we divide this all the 4 squares into equal parts, right? You can observe that altogether there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Altogether 8 parts are there. From the 8 parts, only one part have been shaded. Right? From the 8 parts, only one part have been shaded. So we can write the shaded part as a fraction. What is the answer? One part is being shaded out of the total 8 parts. So the answer is 1/8. The answer is 1/8. Right? Don't put the marks. Right? This is not a paper that I gave you to put the mark. Don't put marks. Just mark the correct answers, and if your answers are wrong, please write the answers with the red pen. Right? This paper is a guidance for your papers. Now from next day, I am going to teach you the lessons. Today I am not going to teach you more about 2 hours. I am just going to speak about only 1.5 hours. Right? Just going to discuss this paper, and just I am going to inform you how the online classes are being there. Right? මම අද ඔයගොල්ලන්ට අද වැඩිපුර එහෙම කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ මේ ක්ලාස් එක කොහොමද කරන්න කියලා. ඉස්සරහට කොහොමද ක්ලාස් එක කරන්න කියලා මේ පේපර් එකේ සමග ලකුණු දාන්න අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ නැහැ. නිකන් පේපරේ හරි වැඩි දාගෙන මේක කරගෙන යන ඉස්සරහට අපි මම අද ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කියා දෙනවා ඉස්සරහට කොහොමද වැඩ ටික වෙන්නේ, කොහොමද හෝම්වර්ක් කරන්නේ, ඉස්සරහට පන්තිල සහභාගී වෙන්නේ කොහොමද, ඒ විස්තර ඔක්කොම තමයි අද මේ වීඩියෝ එකේ කරන්නේ. නැත්නම් වෙන මොකුත් අද කරන්නේ නැහැ. මේක ලකුණු දාන්න කිසිම අවශ්‍යතාවයක් නැහැ. නිකන් මාක් කරගෙන අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම රතු පෑනකින් උත්තර වැරදි නම් තමන්ගේ උත්තර වැරදි නම් රතු පෑනේ මාක් කරගෙන යන්න. Right. Next question. Write an equivalent part 2. Now I'm going to discuss part 2. write an equivalent fraction for them. Now we need to write the equivalent fraction. We write the equivalent fraction. In singular we tell equivalent fraction means tulya work. Now we have learned how to write the equivalent fraction. Okay? We have learned how to write the equivalent fraction. We know that to obtain an equivalent fraction, we need to multiply or divide the numerator and denominator with the same number. We should multiply or divide the denominator and the numerator with the same number. So we can write an equivalent fraction. It means you need to write only one equivalent fraction. I am going to write 1 over 8. I am going to multiply by 2 the both numerators and denominators. The answer is 2 over 60. So you can write many, but remember that if you are writing equivalent fraction, the both numerator and denominator should be multiplied by the same number, right? The both numerator and denominator should be multiplied by the same number, right? So you can write any answer. I have shown one example has been done in the board, right? And the example 1 over 8 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3, 3 over 24. This is also one answer. So you can write many answers, right? Any answer is correct, but remember that the both numerator and denominator should be multiplied by the same number, right? Don't forget it. The both numerator and denominator should be multiplied by the same number, right? Write the answers now. Number 4. Question number 4. Number 4. Oh, there's a number. There's a number 50, 79, 60, 02. Right. Now there's a number. Now the number 1 is separate into zones. Now we need to separate this number into zones. Now we have learned this many. We have done many papers. We have done many tutorials regarding this lesson, number bases. We have done many sums. So I think you all can do this question easily. Now we need to write this number by separating into zones, and you must write this number in words also. First we will separate this number into zones, right? When we are now if you don't know how to separate, if any child don't know how to separate a number into zone, please see the board. So you can clearly observe that. Now how to separate the number. See the board. This is the number 50, 79, 60, 02. We should always, when separating a number into zones, we should always start from the right end. We should always start from the right end. Right now we have to separate the numbers by 3 by 3. Remember that one zone there can be only 3 digits, right? In a one zone there can be only 3 digits. So separate them into 3 digits. This one, this one, this one. Then you can write them. You must remember that you must start from the right end, right? 2, 0, 0. Then 6, 9, 7. Then 50. Now we have separated these numbers into periods or zones. Periods is also correct. Zones is also correct. Periods is also correct. Zones is also correct. Now we have separated this number into 3 different zones, right? We have to separate this number into 3 different zones, right? What is the smallest period we know? What is the smallest period? The smallest period is units period, right? The smallest period is units period. Next one, this is the thousands period. This period is the thousands period. This is the thousands period. Next one, the last one is the millions period. Is the millions period. Now, first there is the number. We divide this number into different zones. First one, remember that in one zone there can be only 3 digits. 2, 0, 0. Next one, 6, 9, 7. 0, 5. Now next one, number 1 they only ask to separate the number into zones. Now you have done it already. Next one, write this number in word form. Write this number in word form, right? From number 2, we must write this number in word form, right? How to write this? How to start it? 50,796,002. How to write it? 50,796,002. Now check your answers, right? Again, get the answer 50,796,002. Right? You must write that in words, right? 50 million 50 million 796,002, right? The answer is 50,796,002. Right, remember that now every week, each and every week on Monday, you must go to Samadhi Institute and take the week's paper, right? You must have to go to Samadhi Institute on every Monday and take the week's paper. Now this week we are doing the classes today, right? Every day, each Tuesday you will have the classes at 7 p.m. right? Your online classes will be at each Tuesday 7 p.m. that is the online time, right? Each Tuesday at 7 p.m. that is your time, right? Each Tuesday at 7 p.m. we are going to have the online class, right? And at each and every week in Monday your parent can go to Samadhi Institute and take the tune, right? From next week I am going to start to teaching the remaining part. I think we have to complete more the algebraic expressions, lesson number 18 and 19, algebraic expressions, right? Algebraic expression. Then I want to again complete to the lesson ratio and mass. These are the only remaining lesson that I want to teach you, right? So I will, sometimes there may be 2 weeks, sometimes you will have 2 online classes. In the WhatsApp group I will inform you about it, right? I want to complete the lesson algebraic expressions, ratio and mass. So I will come with this tute, I will contribute the lesson also. So I am, as the class I am going to give you homework, so you must do the homework today. When you are having the homework today, when I am doing homework today, definitely you must start doing the homework tomorrow, right? And get ready, and there at sometimes I will tell you there will be online class. I don't know about the time straight, definitely there will be online class on Tuesday at 7 p.m. right? Tuesday at 7 p.m. there are no name in that classes. And each and every Monday you must go to Samadhi Institute and take the paper also. And I will inform you if there is more information is there other than them. I am going to inform you to the WhatsApp group. So get ready. You must, when I am giving you homework today also, you must do the homework and get ready, and there anytime you will have the classes. Science also same way, right? Science, in science subject also you will have the same thing. We will have the online classes. That sometimes there may be two days in 1 week, right? We will inform you. Today I told you again, I will tell you this is our first video. My first experience teaching you in the online classroom. I also don't have any experience teaching you in online classroom, right? So there may be mistakes today. Don't think about the mistakes, but try to do your work, right? Next question. Number 5, right? Number 5. Number 5, negative 13 is a mark, inequality mark, negative 5, right? Negative 13, the inequality mark, negative 5. Now we need to write this the given inequality in word form, right? We need to write this inequality in word form, right? We can write that negative 13 is, the answer is negative 13 is lesser than negative 5. You can write there are 2 answers, anyway is correct. One answer is negative 13 is lesser than negative 5, right? Negative 13 is lesser than negative 5. Or you can write negative 5 is greater than negative 13. Negative 5 is greater than negative 13. Any answer is correct, right? One answer is negative 13 lesser than negative 5. You must write this in words, right? Negative 13 lesser than negative 5. Next one, negative 5 is greater than negative 13. Right? Negative 5 is greater than negative 13. Right. This is the answer. Number 6. Number 6. 1 over 5, 1 over 27, 1 over 3, 1 over 7. Right? Now there are some fractions. 1 over 5, 1 over 27, 1 over 3, 1 over 7. Right. Now they are telling us to find the largest fraction. Out of the fractions given, you have to find the largest fraction. Now see the board. Right. Now, when you observe these fractions, 1 over 5, 1 over 27, 1 over 3, 1 over 7, what is the common feature you observe? The common feature you observe is the numerator is equal. In each and every fraction, the numerators is equal. You can see here numerator is 1, 1, 1, 1. But when you consider about denominators, what happens? Here is 5, here is 27, here is 3, here is 7. The denominators are not equal, but the numerators are equal. Now we know that. If you take example, if we take a loaf of bread, right, and divide it into two equal parts, this is half, that one is half, right. Again, if we take a loaf of bread, we can divide it into two more parts. So it means one part means how many? 1 over 4. Right. When you consider about these fractions also, in this 1 over 2 and 1 over 4 also, in 1 over 2 and 1 over 4 also, you can find that numerators are equal. The numerators are equal. But you find that 1 over, you know that 1 over 2 is greater than 1 over 4. 1 over 2 is greater than 1 over 4. Right? So that is the half of the bread. And this is the quarter. Half is always greater than quarter. You know it. Similar way, you can find the what is the feature you observe? If numerators are equal, what happens? If numerators are equal, what happens? Now you have to remind these things. Now when I am teaching these things, you have to remind them. You are studying alone, right? Not like the class. You have just think. Now you are living in the classroom, right? Just have the same feeling, right? Now if the numerators are equal, how to find the largest fraction? If numerators are equal, the largest fraction is the fraction with smallest denominator. Right? Remember it. If numerators are equal, the largest fraction is the fraction with smallest numerator. So out of these denominators, check it again. If all the numerators are equal, the largest fraction is the fraction with smallest denominator. So you can find here 5, 27, 3, 7. Out of this number, the smallest number is 3. So we can find it easily. The largest fraction is 1 over 3. The largest fraction is 1 over 3. The answer must be 1 over 3. The answer is 1 over 3. Right? The answer is 1 over 3. Right, next one. Number 7. When a number is divided by 7, the quotient is 23 and the remainder is 5. Right? When a number is divided by 7, the quotient is 23 and remainder is 5. Find the number. Now we are discussing question number 7. When a number is divided by 7, the quotient is 23 and remainder is 5. Right? Remainder is 5. Number 7. A number is divided by 7. A number is divided by 7. the quotient is 23. The quotient is 23. And the remainder is 5. They have given this data. The remainder is 5. We should find the number. Right. And you all know the long division method. You all know the long division method. If you take the long division method, if you apply this data in the long division method, we know that the number is being divided by 7. The number is being divided by 7. The quotient is 23. What is quotient? Quotient means the answer you get. You know it, no? Quotient is 23. Right? The quotient is 23. And they are asking the number. They are asking the number. And after that, the remainder is, they have given the remainder is how many? The remainder is 5. Right? They have given the data that when a certain number is divided by 7, the quotient is 23. Quotient means the answer. If you don't know it, you have to understand it, right? The quotient means the answer. The answer here is 23. They are asking from which number? From which number when it is divided by 7, the answer is 23. But you remember that the remainder is also 5. The remainder is also 5. Right? By looking at this thing, by looking at this long division method, you can't do this sum. You can't do this sum without looking at this one. Now I have teach you some easier method, and these questions are there like this way. I have teach you to easier method than did. Right? You can find the answer straight away. The answer is, the quotient is 23, no? 23 multiplied by 7. Right? 23 multiplied by 7. Then add the remainder. Add the remainder. So if we need to find a certain number, the quotient should be multiplied by the number which is you are dividing, and you should add the remainder. Right? When 23 multiplied by 7, what is the answer? 7 times 3, 21, 2 remains. 7 times 2, 14. 14 plus 2 means 16. 161. And always this is the answer you get when 23 multiplied by 7. Right? Now find the answer you must get. So 161 we should add another 5. The answer is 166. The final answer is 166. So in a term test, in a paper, if you are going to question like this way, to find a certain number, always you should follow these steps. The quotient should be multiplied by the number, and also you should add the remainder, so you can get the answer easily. The answer is 166. The answer is 166. Right? Write these things. If you don't know the method, please write it. Right. Number 8. Now when you are hearing the video at home, please don't talk with the family members, right? You have to take the full concentration for this, right? You must take the full concentration for the video and listen it, right? Don't engage in the various activities. Don't talk with the elder brothers, elder sisters, right? Don't talk with them, with your father, mother. Just try to concentrate within this 1.5 hours and try to get something from this, right? Because we know that today in Sri Lanka is very difficult situation. It's a very difficult situation, right? I don't know that we can conduct classes even in about 2 or 3 months. Because the coronavirus have been spread heavily in our country. So we don't know at which time we can conduct the classes at the Samadhi Institute. But you must learn. Remember that now you are in grade 6. From this year about 9 months you have been at home. Only about 1 or 2 months you have completely go to school. Complete your time has been wasted. But remember, you are not going backwards. You are going from in grade 6, next year you are in grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, you have to learn it fast. So when you are learning, you can't learn in grade 7 without grade 6 knowledge. So this knowledge is the basic knowledge you must be having there. So when you are in grade 11, we are not going to teach you again to grade 6 lessons. You must have this basic knowledge, right? So you must have the grade 6 mathematics knowledge. So again, when you are in grade 7, in your schools they don't teach the grade 6 lessons. So try to take these lessons out. Take the maximum out of this lesson, right? Take the maximum. Number 8. Number 8, 1 0. 1 0, there is a blank, then 4. 1 5 1. And number 8, we have to find the suitable values for these cages. In number 8, you must find the suitable values for these cages. Right? You have to write suitable values for these cages, right? Now we must add these two numbers. No, we have to add these two numbers. Add these numbers. Now there is 1 cage, 4. The addition of two numbers is 1. Right? The addition of two numbers is 1. Now check it. Now if I put a 0 here, what happens? 0 plus 4 means 4, not 1. Then we can't put 0. Now we must, if you don't know how the method of finding the answer, if you are unable to find the answers, please do with me. Right? Now you check it with here. I put a number 1 here. 1 plus 4. 1 plus 4 means 5. It is not correct. We will check it, right? 2. 2 plus 4 means 6. Not correct. Again 3. No, 3 plus 4 means 7. Not. Then 4. Not correct. 4 plus 4 means 8. Then what is the suitable value? Put 5. 5 plus 4, 9. Not correct. Now you must check it, right? 6. 6 plus 4 means what? 10. Right. You must check it. Can I put it 7? 7 plus 4? 7 plus 4 means 11. Right? 7 plus 4 means 11. So you can write here 7 plus 4 means 11. One you write 1 here. 1 remains. Now again you must get the answer here as 5. Here again you must get the final answer as 5. Now already there is 1. 1 plus 0 means 1. Now we have to make the altogether combine it and make the total as 5. So how many remaining? When there is 1, to make it 5, how many is missing? 4 are missing. So 1 plus 4 means 5. So the answer must be in one case it should be 7, other case it should be 4. The answer is 7 and 4. Right? So remember that when there is some question to fill in the blanks, I told you, you have to check it from the 0. Start with 0, then check the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, check it and write the final answer. Right. Number 9. Number 9. It's a rounding off question. Number 9 is a rounding off question. You know it. A total number of students in a school is 2,473. Round off this number to the nearest 10. Right? I think every week when I give you papers, every day I'm teaching you about this rounding off. I think about 1,000 times in this week I have taught you how to round off a number. Many times I have told you how to round off a number. So I'm not going to again teach you how to do this question. Right? The number is 2,473. 2,473. We need to round off this number into nearest 10. 2,473. The answer is 2,470. The answer is 2,470. Next one, number 10. Number 10. 36 to 63. 36 to 63. Now there's a ratio. I think the last week was the Sunday that I was doing with you this case, the ratio. Right? Last week you were discussing the ratios. It means in last Sunday means the first week of the October month. It means October 4th. Right? October 4th. I was discussing with you ratios, but I was unable to complete the whole lesson. So remember that from next week, from your next online class, I am going to start you teaching. So I will start from the point that I think according to my memory I can remember that I did start to ratios. I teach you ratios also. So next day I am going to start with that point. Right? With the fraction 36 to 63. Right? 36 to 63. Check it. 36 to 63. Now we need to write this fraction, the ratio in the simplest form. It's a ratio. Now we read this 36 to 63. How to read this? 36 to 63. Right? 36 to 63. Now we need to write this fraction, this ratio in the simplest form. Right? You learned in the fractions as a notes. When you're writing equivalent fractions, we learned For example, if we have this 4 by 8, we learn how to write a equivalent fraction in the simplest form. How to write it? You can write equivalent fraction also in simplest form by dividing it by the both numerator and denominator should be divided with the same number. For here, we can divide the largest number. So you can divide the both numerator and denominator with 4 and get the answer, the final answer, the simplest answer as 1 over 2. Right? 1 over 2. The similar way I teach you, similar way we can write the ratios also in the simplest form. But remember that the two quantities, the 2 or the 3 quantities in the ratio sum should be divided with the same number. For example, here 36 and 63. We can divide this both numbers, the two quantities, with the same number. With the largest number we can take 36 and 63. We can divide both these numbers by 3 also. No, we can divide it by 3. But what is the largest number? Think then 3. What is the largest number we can take? 36 and 63. The largest number we can divide both these quantities is what? 9. We can divide both sides by 9. This is also by 9. The answer is 4 is to 63 divided by 9, answer is 7. The final answer is 4 is to 7. The final answer is 4 is to 7. Right? The final answer is 4 is to 7. Right. Remember that you can divide this number by 3 also. I do it again. 36 and 62. 36 into 63. I can divide the both terms by 3. Divide this term by 3. What is the answer? 36 divided by 3 means 12. 63 divided by 12 means 3 means 21. 12 and 21. Further, we can divide both these quantities. No? Both sides, both terms can be divided with. Again, we can divide by 3. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. What is the answer? 4 is to 7. You can get in any method. We get the final answer as 4 is to 7. Remember that when they have asked to write in the simplest form, when they have write in the simplest form, you must write in the simplest way. It means you must divide from the largest number that you can divide. The both you must divide with the both. You can divide with the largest number. Remember it well, right? The answer is 4 is to 7. Any method is correct. This method, both methods are correct. Remember it. You must divide with the largest number. Okay, divide with the largest number. Right. Now discussing number 11. Right? Question number 11. 2 over 3 multiplied by 5 over 2. 2 over 3 multiplied by 5 over 2. Now we have learned indices. Right? Now we need to expand this expression and write the value. Right? We read this. 2 to the power 3. Right? Where is 2 to the power 3? Next one, 5 to the power 2. We have learned this one is the base. This one is the base. And this is known as the power. We read this 2 to the power 3. This one 5 to the power 2. 2 to the power 3 multiplied by 5 to the power 2. Now we have now written indices. 2 to the power 3 means 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. The number 2 is repeated twice. Right? Number 2 is repeated twice. You can see 2 to the power 3. Next one 5 to the power 2. Multiplied by 5 to the power 2 means 5 multiplied by 5. Right? 2 to the power 3 means 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. 5 to the power 2 means 5 multiplied by 5. Now we have to, first thing is we have to expand it. This is the way expand, when you expand this term index form, 2 to the power 3 means 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. Next one 5 multiplied by 5. Right? So you can get the answer as 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 2 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 5. 8 times 5 is 40. 40 times 5 is 200. The final answer should be 200. Right? the final answer should be 200. Okay, put the correct or wrong, right? If your answer is wrong, please write these things, right? Please write these things. We learn indices, right? How to write when this expression is given, how to write in index form, right? Then you have to expand it, right? 2 to the power 3 means the number 2 is repeated 3 times. 5 to the power 2 means number 5 is repeated 2 times. So after that we can get the final answer by multiplying it. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 5 is 40, 4 times 5 is 200. Right. Next one, number 12. Number 12. Number 12. Number 12. There are 40 passengers in a bus. In a bus, there are 40 passengers. Right? In a bus, there are 40 passengers are there. Just think it's a bus. There are 40 passengers in it. P number of passengers go down, right? P number of passengers go down from it. There are 40 passengers in a bus and P number of passengers, P number of passengers got out from it. Now we must find the remaining number of passengers. At the beginning in the bus there are 40 passengers. From the 40 passengers, P number of passengers get out from it. It means reducing, no adding for it. It is reducing. So it means there are 40 students, 40 passengers were there. From 40 passengers, P number was getting out from it. So what is the remaining part? Remaining number in the inside the bus. 40 were there, 5 got out from the bus. It means 40 minus P. 40 minus P. The answer should be 40 minus P. The answer should be 40 minus P. You must write the algebraic expression. Just think that there are 40 passengers in the bus. If 10 were getting out from the bus means 40 minus 10. So you can get the answer as 30. This is the expression. Right? I have not taught this lesson already, but I will teach it in the future. But you can just simply read it and get the answer. There are 40 passengers inside the bus and P number was getting out from it. The remaining number is 40 minus P. The remaining number is 40 minus P. Right? The remaining number is 40 minus P. The remaining number is 40 minus P. Next one, number 13. Number 13, simplify. Number 13, simplify. 1 over 14 plus 5 over 7. 1 over 14 plus 5 over 7. Right. Now we have learned how to simplify fractions. This is a very easy question. 1 over 14 plus 5 over 7. But when we see about these fractions, 1 over 14 and 5 over 7, what happens? Here, both numerator and denominators are not equal. Both numerator and denominators are not equal. Here, both numerators and denominators are not equal. So we have, so what is the thing we have to do when adding fractions? When adding fraction, the first thing you must do is you must find whether there are equal denominators are there. You have to find whether there are equal denominators. Now when you check it, 1 over 14 plus 5 over 7, what happens? Here the denominator is 14. Here the denominator is 14. Here what happens? The denominator is 7. Here the denominator is 7. Now we have to make, the first thing you must do is we have to make the denominators equal. We have to make the denominators equal. To make it, we use the method of equivalent fraction. We can make an equivalent fraction for, first choose the smaller one. 1 over 14 plus 5 over 7. What is the smallest one? The smallest one is 7. So we have to make this denominator also into 14. We have to make this denominator also into 14. 1 over 14 plus, then how to make this into 14? You can multiply the both numerator and denominator by 2. Remember that if you multiply one term by 2, the numerator also should be multiplied by the same number. Remember it, right? The numerator and denominator should be multiplied by the same number. Then 5 over 7 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. 1 over 14 plus 5 times 2 means 10, 7 times 2 means 14, 1 plus 10 means 11, 11 over 14. The final answer is 11 over 14. The final answer is 11 over 14, right? Now if you have not done it, you must write it, right, with the red pen. Next one, number 14. There's a diagram given. There's a diagram given. Here write the type of angles. You must write the types of angles. The types of angles. Number 1 is marked here. Number 2 is marked here. Right. Now you might name these angles number 1 and number 2. You have to name the angles number 1 and number 2. Right. Now I will again recall your knowledge about angles. Now remember, when I am doing this paper, I am going to recall your previous knowledge also. So if there is any certain point, is there a new point for you, please write them. If you have forgotten that point, if you have forgotten this point that I am teaching, you have to write that point. Right? I will again recall your knowledge about angles. Proceed. We are starting the smallest angle we were learning was the acute angle. These kind of angles are known as acute angles. Right? These angles are acute angles. Then we learn about the right angle. This kind of angle is known as a right angle. Right? These kind of angles are known as right angle. Then after that we was learning about straight angle. This straight line. When angle is from this angle is known as the straight angle. Straight angle. Right? Straight angle. Next one, we are learning about obtuse angles. Learning about obtuse angles. These angles are obtuse angles. Obtuse angles. Then again you are learning about reflex angles. Largest angle we learned is the reflex angle. These angles are reflex angles. These kind of angles are known as reflex angles. Right? We learn all these things. The smallest angle we are learning about acute angles. These are types of angles, right? This is the right angle. Then we learn straight angle. Right? Obtuse angles. These kind of angles are known as obtuse angles. This kind of is known as reflex angles. Right? Now we need to find number 1 and number 2. Now we need to find number 1 and number 2. What is number 1? Number 1 is a acute angle. Number 1 is a acute angle. Number 2 is a obtuse angle. So answer is number 1. Number 1 is a acute angle and number 2 is a obtuse angle. Right? Number 2 is a obtuse angle. Mark it. If you don't know these angles, these types of angles, please mark it. The red pen. The reflex angles, the acute angles, right angles, obtuse angles and straight angles, right? You are learning it. Number 15. Number 15. $15. 3 kilograms and 3 kilograms and 300 grams. 3 kilograms and 300 grams of dal is needed to hostel in one day. 3 kilograms and 300 grams of dal is needed to hostel in one day. One day there was only 1 kilogram and 500 grams in dal in the hostel. On one day it was only 1 kilogram and 500 grams. Right? Find in grams the extra amount of dal needed for that day. Right? For certain hostel, you know that in hostels means place where people live. Right? In a hostel, for the people in the hostel, it needs 3 kilograms and 300 grams. It needs 3 kilograms and 300 grams. From 3 kilo on the one day, you needs 3 kilograms and 300 grams. But on one day there were only 1 kilogram and 500 grams was there. Only one day there were only 1 kilogram and 500 grams was there. So we need to find the extra amount of grams we need for that day. Very easy, right? Kilograms and grams, right? 3 kilograms and 300 grams, right? Only in one day it was only there 1 kilogram and 500 grams was there. Only 1 kilogram and 500 grams was there, right? To find the extra amount, what we need to do? We need to add or subtract. We need to subtract, right? Find the extra amount, we need to subtract 1 kilogram and 500 grams. For certain hostel, we need 3 kilogram and 300 grams. But there were only 1 kilogram and 500 grams. So we need to find the extra amount needed for the hostel. So we need to subtract from 3 kilograms and 300 grams. We need to subtract 1 kilogram and 500 grams. Right. Now when you are subtracting these things, kilograms, grams, you must write them separately. Kilograms, grams. Check your answers, right? If you have not tried the method, you have to write it again. The red pen, right? If you have not tried the method, you must write it. Now here, from 300 grams, we need to subtract 500 grams. From 300 grams, we need to subtract 500 grams. Can you subtract? We can't subtract. From 300 grams, we can't subtract 500 grams. So what you want to do? We want to borrow one from the other side. When borrow means from kilogram side, we have to borrow one from this side. Right. When we borrow 1 kilogram from that side, right? 1 kilogram means how many grams? 1 kilogram means 1000 grams. Right? 1 kilogram means 1000 grams. So when we borrow one from this side, it comes 1000 grams. 1000 plus this 300 already is here. 1300. 1000 is coming from the other side. Only 300 is there. 1000 plus 300 means 1300. 1300. Right? From 1300 we have to subtract how many? 500. From 1300 we have to subtract 500. What is the answer? 0, 0, 30 minus 5 means 800. So here it should be 800. Right. Now when we borrow one from this side, what is the remaining here? The remaining here is 2. 2 minus 1 means 1. 2 minus 1 means 1. It means the answer should be, the extra amount needed is 1 kilogram and 800 grams. The answer should be 1 kilogram and 800 1 kilogram and 800 grams. The final answer should be 1 kilogram and 800 grams. 1 kilogram and 800 grams. Right, that's number 15. Next one, number 16. A square rim of length 6 centimeters had been folded to make an equilateral triangle. Find the length of one side of a triangle. Find the length of one side of a triangle. The square rim of length 6 centimeters had been folded to make an equilateral triangle. Find the length of one side of the triangle. Right. Now see the word. There's a square shaped rim. The square shaped rim is there. Which side's length is 6 centimeter. This side also 6 centimeter. This side also 6 centimeter. This side also 6 centimeter. You have learned that under the lesson rectilinear plane figures in a square, all sides are equal in length. If one side is 6 centimeters, all sides are 6 centimeters in length. Right. Now, by folding this square shape rim, they have made equilateral triangle. What is the equilateral triangle? Under the lesson rectilinear plane figures, I have teach you equilateral triangle means a triangle with what? The triangle with all sides are equal in length. If you classify the triangles according to the lengths, if all sides are equal in length, such a triangle is known as an equilateral triangle. Such a triangle is known as an equilateral triangle. If all sides are equal in length, it is known as an equilateral triangle. Right? If all sides are equal in length, it is known as an equator triangle. Now by folding this square shape rim, they have made this equator triangle. Now they are asking from us, find the length of one side of this triangle. Now you know that in this equator triangle, all the three sides are equal in length. In this equator triangle, all these three sides are equal in length. First tell me the perimeter of the square shape rim. 6, 6, 6, 6. How many? The addition is 24. Right. In equator triangle, how many sides are there? 3 sides are there. In equator triangle, there are 3 sides. How to find the one side, the length of one side? This is the length of all this wire. This wire have been folded and make an equator triangle. මෙන්න මේ rim එකේ තියෙන මෙන්න මේ වයර් ගාවලා තමයි මේ equator triangle එක හදලා තියෙන්නේ. අපිට කියන්නේ මේ equator triangle එකේ එක පැත්තක දිග හොයන්න බෑ. කොහොමද හොයන්නේ? A square shaped rim of length 6 centimeters had been folded to make an equator triangle. Find the length of one side of the triangle. Find the length of one side of a triangle. Right. When I am doing the lesson rectilinear plane figures, I told you that in grade 6 we have no any point of learning about the types of triangles. But I teach you about the types of triangles. We learn about, according to sides, we can classify triangles into 3 parts. You know, equilateral triangles, isosceles triangles, and scalene triangles. Out of them, equilateral triangle means a triangle which all sides are equal. Triangle in length, all sides are equal. In this question, there's a square shaped rim. There's a square shaped rim. A square shaped rim. You learn in under unit number 12, rectilinear plane figures. In a square, all sides are equal in length. In a square, all sides are equal in length. In a square, all sides are equal in length. Right? Now square shaped rim have been folded into an equilateral triangle. It has been folded into an equilateral triangle. Right? In equilateral triangle, I told you that all sides are equal in length. Equilateral triangle, all sides are equal in length. In equilateral triangle, all sides are equal in length. Great. Now, by folding this square shaped rim, this equilateral triangle have been made. Right. First, we will find the perimeter of this figure. Tell me. 6. 6 plus 6, 12. 12 plus 3, 18. 18 plus 6, 24. The perimeter of this figure is 24 centimeters. Right. Now think. Now this is a wire. By folding this wire, they have made this equilateral triangle. Right. We know that in equilateral triangle, 3 sides are equal in length. Now the length of the wire is 24 centimeters. So how to find the side of length of one side? We have divide 24 by 3. So what is the answer? Answer, the length of one side is 8 centimeters. The length of one side is 8 centimeters. Right? I told you that in the lesson of rectilinear plane figure. Now in grade 6 we don't have any point of learning about this equilateral triangle. But when I am teaching that point, I told you that when you are getting questions, they are asking about these types of triangles. That is why I teach you in that point. Right? So if you don't know this, what is equilateral triangle, please mark it now. Right? Equilateral triangle is a triangle with, if all two or four sides are equal, is known as a equilateral triangle. If two sides are equal, it is known as a isosceles triangle. If two sides are equal, is known as a isosceles triangle. Right? If any sides are not equal, such a triangle is known as scalene triangle. Unequal in length. Right? They are known as scalene triangle. So if you don't know, please mark it now. Please mark it. Right. Number 17. Question number 17. Dealing with this situation in the country, you must always stay at home. Don't go outside. Right? Don't go to town. You must be safe. Right? You have to know that this, because this time situation is worst in the country, right? So you must be protect yourself, right? The self protection is the most important thing, right? Self protection is the most important thing, right? So be protective and stay at home, right? Please stay at home, right? And also in this WhatsApp group, in my WhatsApp group, I am going to give you the messages. So all the information regarding our online classes will be in the WhatsApp group, right? So be careful, be careful about the situation in the country, and also always check the WhatsApp group. Also the messages will be there. If some information are there, I will give you the messages to that WhatsApp group, right? Okay, next question, number 17. Number 17, 1.02, 0.75, 1.2 and 0.8. Now some numbers have been given, some decimal numbers have been given. You have to write these numbers in ascending order, right? We know that 1.02, 0.75, 1.2, 0. Out of these numbers, if you check about the whole number parts, we know that this 0.7 and 0.8 are the smallest part. The largest parts are 1.02 and 1.2. Out of the smallest part, what is the smallest one? The smallest one is 0.71, next one is 0.8. Between 0.80, I teach it in decimal system. When you take 1.02 and 1.2, what is 1.02 is the next one. Next one is 1.2. So the answer in the code is 0.75, 0.8, 1.02 and 1.2, right? Now they are also asking to write the answers in ascending order. If they ask in descending order means from the largest one to the smallest one. Descending order means from the largest one to the smallest one, right? Right. Next one, number 18. Write all the composite numbers below 10. Write all the composite numbers below 10, right? In unit number 14. In unit number 14, we were learning about type of numbers, right? First, we were starting learning even numbers. Then we learn odd numbers. We learn even numbers, odd numbers. Then after that, we learn about prime numbers, composite numbers. Then lastly, we learn about square numbers and triangle numbers. I can remember that I gave some punishment for you, and for all of you, I think now you can write the square numbers and triangle numbers because I took them. I gave some punishments also for you, and at that point, the now certain point, now you may be knowing all the square numbers and triangle numbers. Now, if you have forgotten about this type of numbers, please go to the notebook and again you have to by heart them. The square numbers, triangle numbers, they are very important, right? Because in grade 7, grade 8, in your upper age, they are not going to teach you about again square numbers and triangle numbers, right? So this is the only point you are learning about square numbers and triangle numbers. Right, so you must by heart. If you can't forget them, if you forget about the things, if you can't remember them, please go to the notes again and again and take the knowledge. Right. Okay. Number 18. They have to write all the composite numbers below 10. Right. Now, before talking about composite numbers, we were learning about factors. Now you know how to write a factor. You know what is a factor, right? So when you talk about factors, what is a prime number? What type of prime number? What's a prime number? A prime number means the type of numbers which have exactly two distinct factors. Prime numbers are the numbers which have exactly two distinct factors. Such numbers are known as prime numbers. Such numbers are known as prime numbers, which have exactly two distinct factors. What is composite numbers? Composite numbers mean the numbers which have more than two distinct factors, right? Composite numbers mean the numbers which have more than two distinct factors. Remember that. Now you are hearing to the video, you are listening to the video, but when I am making the video, when I am doing it, it is a very difficult task. It's not easy. So when I am talking or when I am doing this video, there may be some mistakes be done. Right? Please don't care about them. It's because this is my this is my first experience doing an online class. Right? So don't care about the mistakes. Right? Now you are just listening to the video, but I have to pay attention for various factors when I am doing the video. So I am also learning. Right? This is also my first experience. That is why I told you don't care about the mistakes being done during this classroom. Try to get the maximum of this work. Right? Okay, next one. Right. Write all the composite numbers below 10. Write all the composite numbers means the numbers which having more than two distinct factors. The numbers which having more than two factors. So what are the numbers below 10 which having more than two distinct factors? 4, 6, 8, 9. The answer is 4, 6, 8, 9. The answer is 4, 6, 8, 9. Right. Next question. Number 19. Number 19. Number 19. Complete the blanks so that to get all the factors of 12. Right. In number 19, you have to complete the blanks. 12 equals to 1 multiplied by 2. Next one, 2 separate blanks have been given. Next one also, 2 separate blanks have been given. Now first one is 1 multiplied by 12. First one, 1 multiplied by 12. Right. Next one, what is the number we can get 12 in 2 times? 2 times 6 is also 12. 2 times 6 is also 12. Then 3 times 4 also 12. So you can take this whole numbers as the factors of 6. The factors of 12. Right? Factors of 12. Factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12. Right? The answer is, so in the blanks it must be 2, 6, 3, 4. These are the factors of 2. Now in your answer sheet you have not written this. Now please write it. Factors of 12 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12. And remember, in this video time, don't talk with the family members. Right? Pay attention only to the video. Right? Please pay attention to the video only. Don't talk with the family members in your home. Right? Right, do it. These are the answers. Just you can write factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2. But they are not asking about the factors of 12. But you can write these are new points. These are very essential points you need it. So you can write it. Right? Factors of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12. Right. The last question of the part 1, a page of a book. Right. Number 20, we are discussing number 20. A page of a book. A page of a book can be covered completely by 500 of 1 square centimeters. How to read this one? 1 square centimeters. We learn about the area. Right? We learn about the area. A page of a book can be covered completely by 500 of 1 square centimeters without overlapping or leaving any space. If the length of one page is 20 centimeters, find the length. Now there is a page of a book. Just think this is a page of a book. Right? Can be covered using 500 squares. They can be drawn 500 squares. Right? 500 squares can be drawn, which what the area of one small square is 1 square centimeters. Right? Now the length of the page is 20 centimeters. The length of the page is 20 centimeters. They are asked to find the other length. Right? If the length of one page is 20 centimeters, you need, actually it should be the breadth, not length, it should be the breadth. You can find it. How to find it? The length of one side is 20 centimeters. There are altogether 500 small squares are there without overlapping or leaving spaces. And one page there can be 500 small squares are there. So how to find the remaining breadth? To find by 500 divided by 20. No? To find the answer, 500 divided by 20. What is the answer? 500 divided by 20. 20 times 2 is 40, 10, 100, 20 times 5 is 100, remaining is 0. Get answer, length of one side should be 25 centimeters. Length of one side should be 25 centimeters. Right? The length of one side should be 25 centimeters. Right. Now we are going to discuss the part 2. Now in part 2, if you have answered all the questions, self-study, self-marking, by the self-marking you can put the marks. Just count and put how many marks. I told you, don't mind about the marks. This is not a test that at the beginning I told you I am not giving you marks, but if you like you can put the marks. So one question 2 marks. Just you can see that you got how many marks. For one question 2 marks. Carry, there are 20 questions are there in this whole paper. From 40 you can get, out of 40 you can write how many marks did you got. Right? ඔයගොල්ලෝ කැමති නම් පුළුවන් මේකේ ලකුණු දාගන්න මේ තමන්ගේ තමන් බලන තමන් ලකුණු කීයක් අර වෙනද කියලා. ඒ නිසා ටික මාක ප්‍රශ්නයකට ලකුණු 2 වෙන්න, ප්‍රශ්න 20කට ලකුණු 40ක් වෙනවා. මම බලන්න 4ට ලකුණු කීයද කියලා. හරිද? බලන්න ලකුණු 4ට කියලා බලන්න. මම මේ කිව්ව මුලින්ම පටන් ගද්දි මම ඔයගොල්ලෝ ක්ලාස් එක මේක ලකුණු දාන ටෙස්ට් එකක් නෙමෙයි. මට ඕනේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පාඩම සම්බන්ධව පරම දේවල් ටික මතක් කරගන්න තමයි අපි මේ වීඩියෝ මේක කරන්න කියලා. හැබැයි ලබන සතියේ ඉඳන් ඊළඟ වීඩියෝ එකේ ඉඳන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම පාඩම් ඉතිරි පාඩම් අපිට පාඩම් 3ක් ඉතිරිලා තියෙනනේ. ඒ ඉතිරි පාඩම් ටිකත් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කවර වෙන විදිහට තමයි වීඩියෝ එක හැදෙලා තියෙන්නේ. මම ඔන්ලයින් ක්ලාස් එක කරන්නේ ඒ විදිහට. අනිත් ක්ලාස් එක අනිත් පාඩම් තුන සම්පූර්ණ විදිහට සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම ටියුට් එක සාකච්ඡා කරන්න නැතුව එදාට පාඩම් කොටසකුත් මම ගන්න බලවල්. අද හැබැයි එහෙම උගන්වන්නේ නැහැ. අද අපි සාකච්ඡා කරන්නේ සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම පේපරේ විතරයි. අද සාකච්ඡා කරන්නේ සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම පේපරේ විතරයි. ඒකින්ද අදට කමන්නේ ලබන සතියේ ඉඳන් ඊළඟ ඔන්ලයින් ක්ලාස් ඩේට් එකේ ඉඳන් ඊළඟ ඔන්ලයින් ක්ලාස් දෙක අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ඔයගොල්ලෝ තමන්ගේ තියරි බුක් එකත් ළඟින් තියාගන්න. තියරි බුක් එක මම අර ඔයගොල්ලෝ දීපු ස්පීඩ් රිවිෂන් පොතක් තියෙනවා. ස්පීඩ් රිවිෂන් පොත තියෙනවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ. ඒ ස්පීඩ් රිවිෂන් පොතත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ ගායිම තියාගන්න. හේතුව තමයි මම ඔයගොල්ලෝ ක්ලාස් එකේ මේ ස්පීඩ් රිවිෂන් පොත කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ස්පීඩ් රිවිෂන් පොත ඔයගොල්ලෝ කරලා තියෙනවා. මට තියෙන්නේ ආන්සර්ස් ටික සාකච්ඡා කරන්න විතරයි. හරිද? අපි මේ මට තියාගන්න දරුවනේ අපි දැන් මේ කරන මේ කාලේ ඉතාම අපිට වැදගත්. හේතුව තමයි අපි 6 වසර ඉගෙන ගන්න මේ දේවල් අපි අයිත් ඉගෙන ගන්න නැහැ. මේ බේසික් දේවල්. මොකද අපි ඉස්සරහට 7 පන්ති ඔයගොල්ලෝ වැඩ කරගන්න 8 දී 9 10 දී ඉස්සරහට කරන් යන්නේ මේ බේසික් දේවල් දැනුම නැතුව ඔයගොල්ලෝ කරන්න බෑ. මොන රටේ මොන තත්ත්වයක් තිබ්බත් අපි මේ අවශ්‍ය කරුණු ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒක හින්දා තමයි මම සභාවට ඉස්සරහ සතියේදී එක සතියේ වීඩියෝ දෙකක් විතර දාන්න පුළුවන්. හරිද? එහෙම හරි කළා මම ඔයගොල්ලෝ අවශ්‍ය කරන්නේ සම්පූර්ණ කවර් කරලා මම දෙන පේපර් එක සතියේ සමුදායේදී සමාජ ආයතනයට ගිහිල්ලා සමුදායේ සමාජ ආයතනයට ගිහිල්ලා මේ පේපරේ ගන්න සමාජ ආයතනේ සතියේ පේපර් එකක් මම මේ හෙට දෙයිලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ පේපර් සතියේ අරගෙන මේ පේපර්ස් ටික ගන්න ටියුට්ස් උත් මම අවශ්‍ය ටියුට්ස් දැන් මේ පාඩම් ඉතිරිකට පාඩම් කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. මේ පාඩම් තුනට අවශ්‍ය ටියුට්ස් ඔක්කොමත් සමාජ ආයතන මම ගිහින් දීලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒතකොට ඒගොල්ලෝ අවශ්‍ය පාඩම් ටික ඔයගොල්ලෝ ගන්න තියෙන්නේ. ඒ හැමදාම යන්න බෑ. සමුදිනේ පමණයි. සමුදා Monday right 9 to 5. දෙන මේ ඉඳන් හවස 5 වෙනකන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ වෙලාව දිනු ගිය සමාජ ආයතනෙට ගිහිල්ලා මේ පේපර් එක ගන්න. සවුන්ද විතරයි මම මේ සතියන් chance එක දුන්න දවස් දෙක තුනක්ම දුන්නා ගිහින් පේපර් එක ගන්න. නෝත් පස්සේ එහෙම ඒගොල්ලෝ chance එක දෙන්නේ නැහැ. අනිවාර්යයෙන් මෙන්න මේ දිනේදී ඔයගොල්ලෝ ක්ලාස් එකට ගිහිල්ලා ක්ලාස් කරන විදිහට සමුදේ ගිහිල්ලා අම්මා හරි ඔයගොල්ලෝ යන්න පොඩ් වුණා ඔයගොල්ලෝ යන්න එපා. පේරන්ට් කෙනෙක් යවලා ටියුට් එක ගන්න ගියන්න මේ සතියේ සමුදේ 9 ඉඳන් 5 දක්වා පාදවල ඔයගොල්ලෝගේ පේපර් එක ගන්න. දැන් මේ වෙද්දී ඔයගොල්ලෝ දෙවෙනි පේපරෙත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ අතර ලැබිලා ඇති. දැන් අරුවාදනේ. ඒ දැන් අරුවාද කියන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ පේපර් නම්බර් 2 එක. ඔයගොල්ලෝ රිවිෂන් පේපර් නම්බර් 2 එකත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ ගාව දැන් ඇති. හරිද? ඉතින් මේ පේපරෙත් කරලා තියාගන්න. මේ පේපරෙත් කරලා තියාගෙන ඒ වීඩියෝ එක next week මම සාකච්ඡා කරනවා. ඒ සාකච්ඡා කරන date එක මම WhatsApp group එකේ දානවා. හරිද? ඒ අතරදී මම මේ papers ටිකට අමතරව ඉතිරි පාඩම් ටිකත් ඔයගොල්ලොත් එක්ක සාකච්ඡා කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. ඒ හින්දා හැමෝම online class එකට සහභාගී වෙනකොට theory පොත pen pencil අවශ්‍ය සම්බන්ධ අවශ්‍ය සියලු උපකරණ ටික අර speed revision පොත ඒවා ළඟ තියාගෙන ලේස්ති වෙනවා. මේ වීඩියෝ එක අතරතුරදී මේ දුවන් ලේස්ති වෙන්න එපා. වීඩියෝ එක කරන් යද්දී මගදී දුවන් යන ලේස්ති වෙන්න එපා. හරිද? තමන්ට අවශ්‍ය සියලු දේවල් තමන් ලේස්ති කරගෙන වීඩියෝ එක ලේස්ති වෙන්න. හරිද? right. Then we are going to discuss. Now we are going to discuss part 2. Right? Now we are going to discuss part 2. First one. Recall the activity done in the classroom in constructing a regular tetrahedron. Right? Now recall your knowledge about construction of a regular tetrahedron. Right? I told you when I am taking the lesson solids. When I am taking the solids, I told you in your exam paper, in your term test paper, Question most probably, oftenly, mostly, question number 1 is based on unit number unit solids. In part 2, question number is mostly in based in unit number 17 solids. Right? And I'm doing that lesson. I told you this lesson is very important. You remember that in each and every paper there may be a single question based on the solids. Like I told you in the lesson, I told in the classroom, I by heart the number of phases, number of edges, number of vertices, all those things I was by heart. I guided you to by heart them. I think I punished you some of the students who didn't by heart them also. I think now all of you may be knowing the number of phases, number of edges, and number of vertices in the solids that we learned. Right? So I told you, very important, if you have forget them, if you not remember the solids, the number of phases, number of edges, and number of vertices, please go to the note and again and again see the notes and check your knowledge. Right? These are very important. The number of, in each and every paper there is about each and every single question is there based on the number of phases, number of edges, and number of vertices. Right? Okay. Part 1. What is the number of equal or drinking straws used in constructing the regular tetrahedron? Right. The diagram shows in the regular. The diagram shows the shape of the regular tetrahedron. Number 1, they are asking the number of equals or drinking straws. Equals means what? Equals means ira 2. Drinking straws, you know that beam butter in using construction of regular tetrahedron. How many? What is the number that we need to construct a tetrahedron? 6. Number 1 answer is 6. Next one, number 2, number 3, and number 4. They have asked the number of faces, the number of edges, and number of vertices in a tetrahedron. Right? They have asked the number of faces, number of edges, and number of vertices in a tetrahedron. Right? In tetrahedron, how many faces are there? How many faces are there in tetrahedron? 4 faces are there. 4 faces are there. Then what about the edges? How many edges are there? 6 edges are there. 6 edges are there. Vertices? 4 vertices are there. Right? Number of faces in tetrahedron is 4. The number of edges is 6. Number of vertices is 4. Right? Number of vertices. Now please write them down. If you have not write the answers, please write them now with me. Write the answer with a red pen. Don't use the blue pen. Now you must only having a red pen with you. If you have some new point, if you don't know these things, if you are newcomer to the class, please write these things again. If you didn't come to the class in the lesson solids, please write them again and again. Right? Number of faces, number of edges, and number of vertices in the tetrahedron. Write them now. I will again recall your knowledge about the cube and cuboid also. See the board again. If we take cube and cuboid, what is the special feature? We talk about the number of faces, number of edges, and number of vertices. What is the feature? I told you that number of faces, number of edges, and number of vertices in the cube and cuboid are equal. Right? We make all these solids. Right? The number of faces, number of vertices, and number of edges. Right. What is the number of faces in a cube? 6. Number of faces in a cuboid? 6. Number of faces in a cube and cuboid is 6. What about the vertices? What about the vertices? How many vertices are there? 8. Edges? 12. Now if you don't know, if you forget these things, if you can't remember these things, please write them down with a red pen, right? Where you write the answers, write them down. The cube and cuboid, the number of faces, number of vertices, and number of edges in a cube and cuboid. Tetrahedron is being given here. The number of faces in tetrahedron is 4. Number of edges 6. Number of vertices 4. Right. Number 5. Number 5. Number 5 is draw the figure of a regular tetrahedron. Right. Now you must just very easy. You can draw a figure of a regular tetrahedron. You can draw a figure of a regular tetrahedron. These lines are dotted lines, right? These lines are dotted lines. You can draw any figure. Any figure is correct, right? Any figure is correct. For regular tetrahedron. Let's do a regular tetrahedron. The next one, number 6. Part 5. Part 6. Row number 6. Draw different net to the above that you can use to construct a regular tetrahedron. Draw a different net. But you must draw a different net to draw the tetrahedron. In your lesson, in your theory book, all these things are there. So if you have see the notebook, you can write the answers very easily. All these things I have been teach for you. Right? This is the net we can use for construction of a tetrahedron. This is the net we can use for the construction of the regular tetrahedron. Right. Number 7. Find the length of a wire needed to a model of a regular tetrahedron of 8 cm side. Find the length of a wire which needed to a model of a regular tetrahedron. This one side is 8 centimeters. How many sides are there? 6 sides are there. So the answer is how many? 48 centimeters. Number 7 answer is 8 one side is 8 centimeters. 6 sides are there. The answer is 48 centimeters. The answer is 48 centimeters. Right? The answer is 48 centimeters. The answer is 48 centimeters. The answer is 48 centimeters. Right. Number 2. Question number 2. Question number 2 is based on data representation and interpretation. Right. Question number 2 is based on data representation and interpretation. Question number 2 is based on data representation and interpretation. Right. Now I have treated the lesson for you, and he has done many sums regarding that lesson. He has done all the exercises in the textbook also about the data representation and interpretation. Question number 2. There's a table. You must fill in the blanks in that table. Right. This table, you can clearly see it. There's a table. This one is the mode of transport. Mode of transport is this one. Next one, tally marks. Next one, number of students. Number of students. Transport by CTB bus. First one is by CTB bus. Next one by on foot. On foot. By bicycle. By bicycle. By school bus. Next one by other ways. By other ways. Right. Now they have given some blanks. 14 here, 14, 10. Bicycle have been marked. 5, 6, 8. This one also have been marked. Number 7 here. Now we must fill in the blanks. The first one, the mode of transport is by CTB bus. The mode of transport is by CDB bus. The mode of transport is CDB bus. The number of students is how many? 14. Now we have to mark that represent 14 by using tally marks. Right? We have learned that we represent 5 using tally marks like this way. This is the representation of 5. The representation we learned that to represent 5 in the tally marks we use this symbol. This is the way we use how to represent 5. Now 14 means 2 bunches like that. Mark 2 bunches and separate 4. 5 plus 5 means 10 and separate 4 means 14. Next one, on foot. On foot how many? On foot 10 are there. 10 means how many bunches? You have to mark 2 bunches. You have to mark 2 bunches. 10 means by 2 bunches. Next one, they have marked the tally marks on the bicycle. How many are there? 1 bunch of 5. 5 plus 3 means 8. The answer should be 8. Right, next one, by school bus. By school bus, how many are there? 7. 7 means how to represent 7? 5 bunch and separate 2. We can represent 7 by a 5 bunch and a separate 2. By other ways, how many are there? A 5 bunch and a 1. It means 6. This is the answers for the question number 2, row number 1. Okay, complete the answers. Right. Now number 2. Before that, I want to tell you about the homework. Right? You must start doing the homework from tomorrow morning. Remember it, right? Not today. Today it is right. No. From tomorrow morning, you must start doing the homework. With the reason, sometimes there may be another video before the next week. I told you that your online class is on Tuesday. No. Tuesday at 7 p.m. No. Normally your online class is at Tuesday 7 p.m. But sometimes there may be a video before this one. So I will inform you in the WhatsApp group. Right? I will inform you about that. If there is another video before it, I will inform you. Normal day is Tuesday 7 p.m. Right? That is the time that we are going to have the video. Right? So before that, sometimes there may be a video before it. So you have to get ready with the homework. On that day I am going to discuss that homework that today I am going to give you. Today I am going to give you homework. So please mark the homework. Please mark the homework. Right? Please mark the homework. Now you must take the speed revision book. That I gave this book, speed revision book. This book. Turn to page number. Turn to page number. Turn to page number 40. The last one, the speed revision number 9. Speed revision number 9. Speed revision number 9. The last page. The last speed revision one. Pages are page 40. Right? Page 40 is a homework. You do it the homework. Right? Page 40. Page 41. Page 41. And page 42. Mark the homework. Page 40, page 41 and page 42 are the homework. Speed division 9. Right? Speed division paper number 9. This mark the homework. Page 40, 41 and 42. Remember in the next video, when you are doing the next video, you must get ready with this homework. So you must start doing this work from tomorrow morning. Right? Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Do this work. In each and every subject you will have some days lectures and homeworks. So but you have to go through the lessons again and again and do these exercises, right? Page number 40, 41 and 42 in this speed division number 9. So mark it first. Mark the homework. Right. Next one, number 2. Find the total number of. Now we're discussing question number 2. Right. We're discussing question number 2. We earlier discussed row number 1. Now row number 2. Now please mark the homework. Right. Otherwise, don't tell that I was forgotten the homework and all things. Don't tell them. I'll check from ask from your parents and ask from your parents whether you have done the homework. Right. So you must do it definitely. Mark it. Speed edition paper number 9, page 40, 41 and 42. You have to start doing this homework from tomorrow itself. The reason, sometimes there may be video on Thursday or Friday. I don't know about it. So if I can make a video, I will put it on your WhatsApp group. So you must get ready with this homework. Please do it, right? Speed edition number 9, page 40, 41 and 42. Right. Number 2. Question number 2, row number 2. Find the total number of students in the class. Find the total number of students in the class. What is the total number of students? 45. The total number of students in the class is 45. Right? The total number of students in the class is 45. Right. Next one, number 3. Denote the above data on a bar graph. Right? Denote the above data on a bar graph. You must denote the above data on the bar graph. Right. That's the board. And we have to mark this data on the bar graph. First mark the y-axis and the x-axis. Draw the vertical line, then draw the horizontal line. Remember that when you are drawing the bar graph, the width of these rectangles, the width of the rectangles must be same. So I think it is good taking 2 small squares as the width. Take 2 small squares as the width. මේ bar graph එක අඳිද්දී මේ ඔයගොල්ලෝගේ පොතේ කොටු දෙකක්. එක පණ විතර ගත්තා නම් හරි මේකේ. මේ rectangle එක පල්ල ගන්න පොඩි කොටු දෙකක්. ඊට වඩා ගන්න එපා. දැන් graph එක අඳිද්දී අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ඒතකොට තමයි මේ distance මේ දෙක අතර distance සමාන වෙන්න ඕනේ. මෙතන අපි සාමාන්‍ය ඉර තියන්නේ එක කොටුවයි. මෙතන මේ rectangle එකේ කොටු දෙකක් ගන්න. මෙතන අපි space එක තියන්නේ එක කොටුවේ තියන්නේ. දැන් අපිට මේ date එක mark කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. බලන්න. Right, the first one, by CTB bus. How many are there by CTB bus? 14 are there. You have to mark it. First you have to use a scale, right? First you must use a scale. I think you can use 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. With the scale that you can use. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. You can use like this way. If you use by 1 by 1, I think you will have a big bar graph. If you use the space by 1 by 1, you will have a huge bar graph. So don't do a huge bar graph, minimize it this way. You can do it by 2 by 2. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Right? First one, by bicycle. Sorry, by CTB bus. How many are there? 14 are there. Now you have to mark 14 by CTB bus. Remember that the width of the rectangle should be 2 small squares. Right? The width of the rectangle should be 2 small squares. Right. Next one, on foot. On foot how many? On foot 10. Right. So you have to keep one small space. It means you have to keep a 1 square rule. You have 1 rule and 1 square and draw the next rectangle. How many are there? On foot 10 are there. You write them. This one by CTB bus. By CTB bus. By CTB bus. Next one by foot. On foot how many? On foot 10 are there. On foot 10 are there. This by on foot. Next one by bicycle. By bicycle 8 are there. By bicycle 8 are there. Remember that the width of a one small rectangle should be 2 squares. And the difference between those should be only 1 square. This one by bicycle. by bicycle. And next one, by school bus. School bus how many? School bus 7 are there. So mark it this way. 7 means at this point 7 are there. By school bus. Next one, other how many are there? 6 are there. So you have to mark the bar graph correctly, right? Mark it correctly. This is by others. So if you have not marked the bar graph, please mark it now. Please mark it now. By CTB bus, on foot, by bicycle, by school bus, and by others. Remember that I told you again and again that the length of this small rectangle should be about width should be about 2 small squares, and keep 1 square between these 2 rectangles, and keep one a space of 1 square rule, right? Next one, number 4. Name the mode of transport that highest number of students used to come to school. Name the mode of transport that highest number of students used to come to the school. What is the mode that we use? The mostly used mode is by the CTB bus. You can see the bar graph also easily. This is the bar graph also. That the mostly used mode is. So in the bar graph you can write the number. Here you can write the mode of transport. In the vertical line you can write the number. Here you can write the mode of transport. Here you can write the mode of transport. In the horizontal axis you can write the mode of transport. In the vertical axis you can mark it as the number. The last one, name the mode of transport by that the highest number of students used to come to the school. What is the mode? The highest number of students are coming from, you can see in the bar graph, it is by the CTB bus. Number 4, answer is by CTB bus. The answer is by CTB bus. Right, mark the answers. Right. Now we are going to discuss question number 3. Right. Now see the board. We are discussing question number 3. Right. Now there's a diagram. This side is a circular shape, right? What is the name given for the half of the circle? What is the name? Semicircle, right? The half of the semicircle part is there, the arc part, right? This is a rectangle part. The half of a circle is there, right? Is combined together and make a figure. They have marked it that the length of one side, the breadth of the rectangle is 14 meters. And the length they have marked it as 20 meters and 50 centimeters. And the length of this part of the arc, this sector, this part is known as, the length is how many? 22 meters, right? The length of this, the perimeter of this circular part, right? The perimeter of this circular part is how many? 22 meters. Now you know that in a rectangle, this is a rectangular. No? This side is also how many? 20 meters and 50 centimeters. Now you have to get all the measurements. This side length 20 meters and 50 centimeters. This also 20 meters, 50 centimeters, 14 meters, 22 meters. Now we need to add all these measurements. Right. Meters, centimeters. Meters, centimeters. Right. We write the measurements. 20 meters, 50 centimeters. Next one, 20 meters, 50 centimeters. Here, 14 meters, means you can write 0, 0. 20 also you can write here 0, 0. Right. Now we can add these things. See the board carefully. 50 first 50. 50 plus 50. 50 plus 50. What is the answer? 100. Can you write here 100? Can you write here 100? No. You know that 1 meter means 100 centimeters. You know that 1 meter means 100 centimeters. I told you that in the length lesson, the maximum number you can write here is 99. The maximum number you can write here is 90. So you can't write 100 here. Then what can we do? We know that 100 centimeters means what? What are you going to write here? 100 centimeters means 1 meter. So 1 meter must come here. 1 must come here. 1 meter, no? Then 1. 4 plus 6 means 1. 6. 6 plus 1 means 7. Here 2 plus 2, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. 5 plus 2 means 7. 72. Here 2 zeros. So answer is 77 meters. The perimeter of this figure is 77 meters. The perimeter of this figure is 77 meters. Right. Part 2. 3 strands of barbed wire are fixed around this pool. Right. Leaving an entrance of 2 meters wide. Find the length of the barbed wire. Find the length of the barbed wire. Find the length of the barbed wire. Right. Now we find that the perimeter of this figure is how many? The perimeter of this figure is 77 meters. You find it, right? The perimeter of this figure is 77 meters. Now they are going to make 3 strands of barbed wire. 3 strands of barbed wire around this piece of pool, no? The shape of pool. Around this pool. Right? They have done that, leaving an entrance of 2 meters wide. Now they are going to leave a space of 2 meters. So if we deduct 77 minus 2, what is the answer? It is 75 meters. Right? Such 3 brands are there. Such 3, they are going to fix how many wires? They are going to fix 3 strands. They are going to fix 3 strands. So 3 strands means 75 meters into 3. What is the answer? 225 meters. The answer is 225 meters. Right? The answer is 225 meters. Mark it. Right. The length of this pool, the swimming pool is how many? 7 meters. So find it. No? Then they have tried to fix them 3 strands between there, given an entrance of leaving space of 2 meters. So it means 7 minus 2 meters means 75. Such 3 strands are making 75 into 3. It means 225 meters. Right. Next one. You have to simplify these things. Number 3, number 4, and number 5. Number 3. Number 4 and number 5. First is number 3. Kilograms, grams. 5 kilograms, 50 grams plus 8 kilograms, 75. And write these things. Next one. Number 4 also in the board. Meters, centimeters. Meters, centimeters. 8 meters, 75 centimeters. 5 meters, 80 centimeters. Right. This is number 4. Number 5, right? First is number 3 and number 4. Kilograms and grams. Now we do add these two continuous. 0 plus 5 means 5. 7 plus 5 means 12. Can I write it 125? Can. We know that 1 kilogram means 1000 grams. We have learned that 1 kilogram means 1000 grams. We learned it. 1 kilogram means 1000 grams. So what is the answer here? 125. 8 plus 5 means 13. So answer is 13 kilograms and 125 grams. The answer is 13 kilograms and 125 grams. The answer is 13 kilograms and 125 grams. Right. Next one, fourth one. Meters, centimeters. 8 meters and 75 centimeters. And you subtract 5 meters and 80 centimeters. Right. First thing, see the board. Can we subtract 75 out of 80? Can we subtract? Can't. We can't subtract 80 from 75. No. From 75 we can't subtract 80. No. First thing we can do, we can borrow one from the other side. When we borrow one from the other side, meters are in the other column is meters. So 1 meter means how many centimeters? 1 meter means 100 centimeters. 1 meter means 100 centimeters. 1 meter means 100 centimeters. When we borrow one from this side, right? When 100 comes here, 1 meter comes here, it means 100. 100 plus 75 means 175. Now here was only 75. When you borrow one from this side, this becomes 175. So 175, we will subtract how many? 80. What is the answer? 570 minus 80 means 95. So answer here is 90. The centimeters column, the answer is 95. So what the remaining in your meters column? Remaining is 7. 7 minus 5 means 2. So the answer is 2 meters and 95 centimeters. 2 meters and 95 centimeters. So the answer is 2 meters and 95 centimeters. Right. Next one, number 5. Problem number 5. Problem number 5. So if you don't know this, please mark them. 1 kilogram means 1000 grams. 1 meter means 100 centimeters. Please mark them. Right. Number 5. Number 5. Year, month, days. Year, month, days. 15 years, 8, 12 days, 4, 9 months and 20 days. Right. Now you add these things. Now this thing is not, this type of questions are not in your grade, but it's a very easy question. You can think it and do it. Mainly we learn these type of questions in grade 7. Earlier things you learn, they learn in grade 6, but here this one is a new question. But if you think well, you can do it easily. So general knowledge question, you know it. So how normally in maths we are taking, when you are doing sums, we are taking 1 month only 30 days. We are taking that 1 month is 30 days. So if you add these two numbers, 12 plus 20 is how many? 32. 12 plus 30 means 32. So we can't write 32 here. Exactly, we can write directly. The answer is 32 is wrong. So we have to borrow one from the other side. This becomes what? Then what can we do? What can we do then? What can we do? Similar method, the same thing what we did in the last lesson, so we can do it. Borrow one from this side. Right? If we borrow one from this side, 1 month means how many days? 1 month means 30 days. 1 month means 30 days. Right? If you take 30 plus this 12 means how many? 30 plus this 12 means 42. From 42, here subtraction, not addition, right? Here is subtraction. From 42, we can subtract how many? We can subtract 20. I just think we can't add 12 plus 20 and write the exact answer, right? 32. What is the reason? Because this one is subtraction. We can't subtract what? 20 from 12. We can't subtract 20 from 12. So we need to borrow one from this side. So this becomes 42. 30 plus 12 means 42. From 42 we have to subtract how many? The number here is 42. From 42 we have to subtract 20. What is the answer? The answer is 22. The answer is 22. I teach you again it. Now here you can't subtract 20 from 12. From 12 you can't subtract 20. So we have to borrow one from the month side. When you take 1 month here, 1 month means you are taking it 30 days. 1 month 30 days means 30 plus 12 means 42. 42 minus 20 means 22. Right. What is the remainder here? What is the remainder here? 7. Our remainder is 7. Can we subtract 9 from 7? Can't. First thing, same thing you have to do, borrow 1 from this side. Now we know that 1 year means how many months? 12 months. 1 year means 12 months. Then here, 12 plus 7 means how many? 12 plus 7 means 19. 19 minus 9. From 19 you have to subtract 9. What is the answer? 10. 10 months. And here remaining part, you don't want remainder is 14. 14 minus 4 means 10. So answer is 10 years, 4 months and 22 days. With the answer 10 years, 4 months and 22 days. Right. Now I think you are too tired also, no? Working about nearly about 1.5 hours. Right. So this is the first day, no? Today is the first day. As me also is my first experience teaching you. Right. I think you got maximum out of the work that we did. Right. I think you got the maximum out of the questions that I took discuss. So next day, when you are getting ready to next day, you must do the speed edition number 2, that paper that I gave you, this week's paper, and also you must complete the homework that I gave you. I gave you page number 40, page number 41, and page number 42 in the speed division book. I gave you the homework, page number 40, page number 41, and page number 42 in the speed division book. So you must do that all the homework in the homework book. Right? You must do the homework in the homework book. Don't do that homework in separate papers. Right? Please do the homework in the homework book. Right? Do the whole homework in the homework book and get ready. And sometimes there may be another video in this week. Right? Normally your online class date is Tuesday. Right? Normally your date is Tuesday 7 p.m. Your 7 p.m. is the normal date. Your normal date is Tuesday 7 p.m. If there is more extra class, I am going to inform you through the WhatsApp group. Right? So today we are going to finish the today's class for today. And before finishing the class, I want to tell you something. When you are doing this class today, many people help me. Right? Many people help me when you are doing the class. First, I want to special thanks for the owner of the Samadhi Institute. He was guided. He is the person, Mr. Priyanta Krishna Kumar. He guided us to the way we doing these videos and all these things are guided by him. Right? Under his guidance, we do read all these videos and all these things. And also, especially thanks for your science teacher, Mr. Ciceru Alice. He also helped me a lot to do this video well. Sometimes there may be mistakes. At the beginning also I told you that there may be some mistakes. Don't be care about the mistakes. In the next video, if I am also going to watch this video again and again, I will find my mistakes, and then in the next video I will make these mistakes and do a well lesson in the next week. Right? So that's the end of the video today. So don't go to the outside. It means don't go to the town, and always stay at home. That's the most safe way is home. Stay at home. And now you can find that in social media also you can find it. This coronavirus is highly spread in the country. Right? So you must be the first thing is protective. If you are protected, you can learn. Right? If they are protected, you can learn. So the main thing you have to do is the protection. Right? Do all this thing and do the homework also, and we will meet in the next video. Until that, goodbye and good night, children. Right?